Hey, what's up? John Sonmez from simpleprogrammer.com. I've got a couple of questions here about freelancing. I thought I'd answer a few of these questions. I got this email with like 3 questions here. I think I can give you some pretty quick answers on these ones. So this email comes from Dennis, and he says, a few more video ideas. I have a great idea, and I can hire someone, freelancer.com, to do most of my code, but how do I find someone that will not steal my idea? So that's the first question. How do you find someone that won't steal your idea? That's tough. You can't guarantee against that. The best thing to think about in this case is if someone is on a freelancing site, if they're doing freelancing, then they probably are less interested in developing their own idea because they would be doing that already. So I wouldn't be too worried about that. It may happen. Someone may steal your idea, but you just make sure that if you hire someone that you've got a contract in place that says that you own the rights to everything that they produce for you during that time, and that's the best protection that you have. But anytime that it's going to be the interview process. You're going to have to trust someone. There's a lot of situations where that you just have to trust someone, and you can look at their record. If someone's been doing freelancing for 5 years and they have excellent record, the chances of them taking your idea and going off with it and not doing any more freelancing work is pretty low. Next question. I freelance my services. Do I need to incorporate/register as an LLC? So again, I'm not a lawyer. It's not legal advice, but I would do it. It makes sense to me. There's certain tax implications, like in the US, for doing that. Personally, I have, when I was doing freelancing work, I would incorporate it as an LLC, and then I would file it as a S Corp, which would allow me to hire myself as an employee of that company and to not pay as much, self-employment tax. So there's some advantages to that. There's also the advantage, again, not legal advice, but my opinion on this is that you can protect yourself to some degree. So, and that's going to lead right into the next question, which is, as a freelancer, should I buy liability insurance? As a freelancer, I don't know. I mean, it's pretty cheap, so I would say, yeah, you might as well, because if you end up doing something and someone sues you, if you have liability insurance, you're covered. In the work that we're doing as software developers, there's a lot less liability. I mean, it's not like you're like working on someone's house, or like working on their roof, or doing their working on their teeth. You're not a dentist. Those professions obviously need liability insurance. Again, I'm not a lawyer, so I don't know for sure. I can't advise you whether or not you should buy liability insurance. But when I looked at the prices last, it was so cheap that it made sense to me to do it. It didn't seem like there's any reason to not do it. And then finally, what is your opinion about freelancer.com and similar sites? Okay in some cases, or better to find someone local? I really like, actually, I'll give a free plug to Upwork. I really like Upwork. I found some really good people on Upwork. In fact, hey Rodrigo, my video editor, I found him on Upwork, and you can often find some really good people. The things I like about sites like that are, I can't speak for Freelancer.com. I think they combined with Upwork anyway, which used to be Odesk. But the thing I like about that is that you can put out a job, you can get a lot of people to apply for it, you can interview those people, and you can see their track record, and it also has a time tracking thing, so you can see the work that they're doing, and then they handle all the billing for you, and you don't need to get W-9s because it's directly coming from there. So I like it. I've got definitely contractors that I work with on Upwork, and we could go off of the platform and pay individually, but I prefer just to pay the small fee that Upwork charges and to have that record in there and have them handle all the transactions. So I think it's a good way to go, and I think you can find, I like that better than local for a lot of things because you have a lot wider range of talent out there, especially if you go outside the country. If you're in the United States, you can find talent that might not be as expensive as if you try to hire locally. The only disadvantage is you have to hire very well because everyone that's working on those sites is working remotely. And a lot of people can't work remotely, and remotely a lot of people can take advantage of you. So you got to really find the people that don't take advantage of you on those sites, because you can't monitor them. They have to be trustworthy, right? And you got to fire quickly if someone's not doing a good job, or if they're padding hours or something like that. You got to be ready to fire. Whereas I think locally, probably if you hire someone, you can have them working in the office with you, or you've got a little bit more control over the process. So that's it. That's all for those quick freelancing questions. If you have a question for me, email me at john@simpleprogrammer.com. And if you like this video, subscribe to the channel. Take care.